So you're about to be married. Congratulations, this is a major life decision, a commitment of the highest order. It's also a time of great joy, but it can also be a time of, let's say, logistical complexity. One of the first hurdles you might encounter, particularly in certain cultures, is the question of to have the wedding. This isn't just about choosing a picturesque location, it's about navigating family expectations, cultural norms, and yes, even ancient traditions like the bride price. You see, the decision of where to hold the wedding in many cultures is deeply intertwined with the fulfillment of marital rights. These rights, passed down through generations, often carry symbolic weight. The bride price, for example, isn't just a financial transaction, it's a recognition of the woman's value, her lineage, and the union of two families. Choosing the location for your wedding, then, becomes a delicate dance between honoring tradition and forging your own path. Should you have the wedding in your hometown, your bride's hometown, or somewhere entirely different? This is not a decision to be taken lightly, and it's a conversation you need to have with your partner, both your families. In this video, we're going to explore the nuances of this decision, examining the potential benefits and drawbacks of different wedding locations. The first option, and perhaps the most straightforward, is to have both your traditional marriage ceremony and the white wedding in the town where you both come from. This assumes, of course, that you come from the same town, which is often the case, especially in more traditional societies. This simplifies things considerably, at least logistically. You have your families nearby, your friends are likely within easy reach, and you probably know the lay of the land like the back of your hand. There's a certain comfort in the familiar, a sense of ease that comes with being surrounded by your community. This option allows you to celebrate your union on familiar ground, surrounded by the people who have known you both, perhaps since childhood. It's a testament to your shared history, a public declaration of your commitment in the very place where your story began. Beyond the sentimental value, there are practical advantages as well. You're likely to save on travel and accommodation costs, both for yourselves and for your guests. You'll have a wider choice of venues and vendors, all within a familiar radius. And let's not forget the emotional support that comes with having your loved ones close by during this momentous occasion. However, even this seemingly simple option comes with its own set of considerations. What if your families have different expectations or traditions? What if your respective social circles are at odds with each other? These are potential landmines that you need to navigate carefully, and open communication is key. Remember, the goal here is to create a wedding experience that feels authentic and meaningful to both of you, while also honoring the traditions and expectations of your families. It's about finding a balance, a way to bridge the gap between your personal desires and the social fabric you're both a part of. If you're struggling to find common ground, don't hesitate to seek outside help. A neutral third party, like a therapist or a trusted elder, can provide valuable insights and help you navigate these sensitive conversations. Remember, this is not about winning or losing. It's about creating a strong foundation for your marriage, and that starts with honest communication and a willingness to compromise. Ultimately, the decision of where to have your wedding is a deeply personal one. There's no right or wrong answer, only what feels right for you and your partner. So, take your time, weigh your options, and choose the path that best reflects your shared values and aspirations. Now, let's consider another common scenario. You and your bride come from different towns. This adds another layer of complexity to the equation, as it often involves navigating not only different families, but potentially different cultural norms and expectations. One option in this scenario is to split the celebrations, holding the traditional marriage ceremony in your wife's town and then having the white wedding in your own town, either on the same day or the next. This approach allows you to honor both families and their respective traditions. It's a way of acknowledging the importance of both lineages, demonstrating respect for the cultural heritage that has shaped both you and your partner. It's a gesture of unity, a symbolic bridging of two families, two communities, perhaps even two worlds. However, this approach is not without its challenges. Logistically, it can be a nightmare, requiring meticulous planning and coordination. You'll need to factor in travel time, accommodation for yourselves and your guests, and the potential for delays and unforeseen circumstances. And let's not forget the financial burden. Holding two separate events, even on a smaller scale, can significantly impact your budget. You'll need to weigh the symbolic importance of separate celebrations against the practical implications. Moreover, there's the emotional toll to consider. Having two weddings in quick succession can be physically and emotionally draining, both for you and your partner. It can feel like a whirlwind, a blur of activity and emotion, leaving you little time to savor the moment. Then there's the question of guest experience. Asking your guests to travel between locations, especially if they are unfamiliar with the area, can be inconvenient and costly for them. It's essential to consider their comfort and convenience when making this decision. Despite these challenges, the split location approach can be a beautiful way to honor both families and create a truly memorable wedding experience. It's an opportunity to weave together different traditions, to celebrate your union in a way that reflects the richness and complexity of your respective backgrounds. The third option, and perhaps the most challenging, is to have both the traditional marriage ceremony and the white wedding in your wife's town. This is a decision that should not be taken lightly, and it requires careful consideration and open communication with all parties involved, especially your own parents. In many cultures, having the wedding in the bride's town is the norm. This often stems from tradition, from a time when women, once married, would become part of their husband's family and community. It's a way of honoring the bride's family, acknowledging their role in raising her and preparing her for marriage. However, in a modern context, this tradition can be a source of contention. It can be perceived as a symbolic gesture of the woman leaving her family and joining her husband's, which can be difficult for some families to accept, especially if they have strong ties to their daughter. If you're considering this option, it's crucial to have an open and honest conversation with your parents. Explain your reasoning, your desire to honor your wife's family and culture. Listen to their concerns, acknowledge their feelings, and try to find common ground. Remember, this is not about choosing sides or dismissing anyone's feelings. It's about finding a solution that respects everyone involved. A solution that honors both tradition and the evolving dynamics of modern families. It's also essential to have this conversation with your wife and her family. Ensure they understand the potential implications of this decision and are comfortable with the arrangements. It's about presenting a united front, demonstrating that you're both committed to making this work. Choosing to have both ceremonies in your wife's town can be a beautiful gesture of respect and a testament to your commitment to her and her family. It can be a way of bridging cultural divides and creating a truly inclusive celebration. However, it's crucial to approach this decision with sensitivity, open communication, and a willingness to compromise. Remember, the goal is to create a wedding experience that feels authentic and meaningful to both of you, while also honoring the traditions and expectations of your families. Planning a wedding is a journey, and like any journey, it's best navigated with flexibility, understanding, and a healthy dose of humor. The location, while significant, is just one piece of the puzzle. What truly matters is the commitment you're making to each other, the love you share, and the life you're about to build together. Remember, there's no one-size-fits-all approach to weddings. What works for one couple may not work for another, and that's perfectly okay. The key is to find what feels authentic to you, what honors your values and traditions, and what sets the stage for a joyful and fulfilling life together. Now, we want to hear from you. Tell us about your own wedding planning experiences. What challenges did you face when choosing a location? How did you navigate family expectations and cultural traditions? Share your stories, insights, and advice in the comments below, or join the conversation on our Facebook and YouTube channel, The Family by You. Let's learn from each other and build a community of support for couples navigating this exciting and sometimes overwhelming journey.